In this video, we're going to take a look at the CSWA practice problems that are presented from SolidWorks from this package. And we are going to start by scrolling down and taking a look at the first practice problem, which if we scroll way down, it's on page 9, section A, problem 1, looks like this. We're going to break down how to do a problem like this. So it gives us a few hints and a few bits of key information before we get started, which is our unit system needs to be an mmgs, which is millimeters, grams, seconds. When we open SolidWorks, like I have here, typically it will be an IPS, which means inch, pound, seconds. We can check by moving our mouse over to the bottom right, and it says IPS. If we click on that, we can change it to mmgs. This is something we always want to be careful of when doing any CSWA practice problems or tests. Is most of the time they will be in mmgs. We always want to check that though. Okay. Unit system mmgs, and it tells us what our part is made out of. It's made out of aluminum bronze, and it shows us the density. We'll take a look at that later on in this video, how to change that. And it also gives us a hint, which in the actual test it will not give you this hint, but it will give us all this other information. This hint says that this part can be built using only 2 features, which is really important for learning how to make a part efficiently. So we want to look at this part and think about how can we make this using only 2 features, and what it means by features. A feature would be an extrusion, an extrude cut, a hole wizard, a chamfer, a fillet, any sort of extruding tool like that. So knowing that we can make this in 2, let's break this down. So a few ways we could look at this. We could look at this, I'm going to start with the wrong way first, which is we could make a block at the bottom and extrude that. Then we could sketch a hole on the side and extrude cut that. And then we could sketch the bottom stair step and extrude that up. We could sketch the next stair step, extrude that up, and we could sketch the top stair step and extrude that up. But that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extrusions, 5 features. That would not be an efficient way to make this. Instead, if we look at the side view, this gives us the clue as to how to make it most efficiently. If we just sketch a rectangle at the bottom and then include this circle in the sketch, then we can extrude everything around in this area, and the hole is automatically made for us with just 1 extrusion. And then our second extrusion would be sketching out this stair step area at the top, all as 1 sketch, and then extruding it the depth that we need, which would be 20 inches here. Okay, now that we broke down how we're going to make this, let's go through and make this just for practice. So follow along and make this with me. We're going to start with a square or a rectangle that is 30 by 60 millimeters. Remember again, we were in millimeters, mmgs. So I'm going to start a sketch, click sketch, click sketch. I'm going to start on the front plane. By clicking on the front plane there, I'm going to start a center rectangle on the origin. And we're going to dimension that to be 30, or I think it was 60 by 30. Let's double check that. It is 30 tall and 60 long. Okay, so that should be 60. Double click to change. 60 by 30, fully defined, but again, remember we want to add in this circle to be as efficient as possible. So we sketch that circle there, and it should be a size of 12 millimeters across. That's what this circle with the slash through it means. That's a diameter tool. So, or diameter symbol. Okay. So let's smart dimension the diameter of this circle. I'm going to put it where the drawing showed it to be 12 millimeters. So that's that 12 millimeters, and then we also want it to be 16 millimeters from the bottom and 16 millimeters from the right hand edge. So I'm going to click on the center point, click on the right hand edge, click down here, set it to be 16 millimeters. Same thing from the center point to the bottom, should be 16 millimeters. And we see that it's fully defined already, 16 by 16. Just double checking that, 16, 16, 12 across. We always want to double check these to make sure that we're entering the right values. Okay, now we can extrude. So what depth are we going to extrude to? 28 millimeters. That's the size, the width of the bottom block there. Okay. Features, extrude, and make sure all the area is highlighted in yellow. We'll be able to tell, so I'm just rotating my view to make sure that it looks right. And it does look like it's extruding everything except that inner circle. If it does not, you can go down to selected contours and make sure that you're selecting the area you want and not the inner circle. So that's how we select that. Again, that should be 28 millimeters. Hit OK. Double check that. 28 millimeters, yes, got it. Okay, now we're going to do the upper stair step part, which will be a little bit more complicated. I'm just going to use the line tool to sketch out the general shape, and then I'm going to add dimensions from there. Okay, so let's start on the front plane again. I'm just going to start on the front plane because I know it's going to be start at the back and extrude forward. If we started on this plane, it would be on the wrong side. We can see that the extrusion starts at the back edge there. So in this case, that would be our front plane, which is that back edge. Sketch. I'm going to right click and click the normal to button to view it straight on. Zoom out a little bit. Select the line tool. Start at the top left edge there. Go up, making sure my line is vertical. That little yellow symbol next to my line should pop up when it's vertical. So you see it's not there, and then there it is. That yellow symbol lets me know it's vertical. Same thing with each of these lines. Make sure each one is horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical. I think there's only 3 stair steps. And then we do want to continue this on over and connect back to where we started, and that will create a completed shape. You'll know it's complete because it'll shade in blue, but we just want to double check that all these edges are connected, and we do need that bottom line that I sketched there. So make sure you have this bottom line before continuing. Okay, let's start adding dimensions. So the total height is 75 millimeters. From the very bottom of our first edge we made all the way to the top. So let's enter that in. Smart dimension, top of here, all the way to the bottom here. Should be 75 millimeters. And we're just going to go one dimension at a time. 20 millimeters at the top here. And then the next section is 12 millimeters, 12 by 12 there. So 12. And then this section is also 12. And then the bottom area from that edge to the far edge is also 12. So from here over to here should be 12. Okay. And it looks like I'm missing one still. Okay, 20 millimeters from this edge up to that second edge. So second edge to there should be 20. There we go. Okay, now all my lines are fully defined. I've made sure I have all my dimensions. If your lines are not fully defined, make sure that the vertical ones are actually vertical and the horizontal are horizontal. Make sure you have all of these numbers that I have here and that they're all measuring the same thing that I'm measuring here. So go back and double check that you did all that correctly. Now we can extrude, and we're going to extrude to a depth of 20 millimeters. So again, features, extrude, 20. Let's rotate this to see if it looks right. Yep, it's going 20 millimeters. It looks similar to how my picture looked. Hit OK, and there we go. We've got our part done. We're going to do one final step to double check it, which is make sure it looks correct. We can go back and double check any of these dimensions for our sketches if we want, but the main way to check is to see if it has the main way to check is to go back and check the sketches. But we also want to change the material type so it matches. So that's how we complete the part. So Over here you can right click on material on the left hand side, right click, go to edit material, which is the top option. And then here we have a bunch of materials listed. I'm going to click this caret here to see all of our options. And I know it is an aluminum, I believe. It might be under aluminum or copper, so we can check. Let's check aluminum. We're looking for aluminum bronze. It should be in alphabetical order. And I don't see it here, so let's check copper. There it is, aluminum bronze. We can click aluminum bronze, and we can make sure that its mass density is 7,400 kilograms per meter cubed, which should match what it says here, 7,400 kilograms per meter cubed. That matches. So we know that's the correct material. Always good to double check, then apply. Exit out. So there we go. Our part is done. The reason we want to do that is because in the actual CSWA test, they will have you set a material after you created your part, and then you'll have to go to the Evaluate tab, which you should practice now, and then go to Mass Properties. Once you click that, it'll open up this menu here, and it'll tell us the mass. Typically, the multiple choice questions on the test will ask you what is the mass, and you'll have to be able to answer the mass of your part based on what you made. And that's how they check if you made it correctly, because you should get the same mass, or at least close to it. Sometimes it'll be off by a couple decimal places, so don't be worried if it is. As long as your number is close to 537 grams, you should be confident that you did it correctly. If you're way off, or even quite a bit off, like if this was in the 400s or the 600s, I would definitely want to go back and double check and see if I missed something. So just confirm that your number is close to 537, and that is it for this part. I'll see you in the next one.